Just an absolute beautiful second half for the Toronto Raptors as they come away with the 101-94 victory. And that was beautiful. You know what? The first half was garbage. It wasn't fun to watch. You know, the Raptors did not look good. They were down 8 at the half. It was not too great. But you know what? They came out in the third and the fourth and just said defense, defense, defense. And that's what they did. They only gave up 18 points in that third quarter. That's huge. When you can give up 18 and play so well defensively, it's going to transition into good offense, and that's what we saw in this game. You know, obviously, lots of turnovers in that third quarter for the Celtics, and the Raptors made them pay. We won by 15 points in that third quarter, so that was a huge one. Obviously, the third quarter defense was massive. You know, a big credit to a lot of the guys. Norman Powell, I mean, my goodness. You know, DeMarre Carroll doesn't usually play on back-to-backs. So Norman Powell gets the start in this one, and he shows why he's pretty much the future. 36 minutes, he goes 20 points, 3 boards, 2 assists. He had 5 steals in this one. 5 steals just for Norman Powell, and he was 7 of 10 shooting as well, 3 for 4 from deep. He was so good all night. As we've been harping on, right, to see more minutes for Norm. But you have DeMarre Carroll. You use him because he is what he is and the money he is making, obviously. Norman Powell has a future, a bright, bright future, and we're seeing just itty bits of it. Just dynamite. But I'm not. Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan's efforts tonight are not going to go unnoticed. That's for sure. Kyle Lowry, 34 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 steals to go along with just a fantastic performance defensively overall. 9 of 18, so he shot 50% on the game. 12 of 13 from the free throw line. And as usual, 50% from the three-point line. So very impressed with Kyle. DeMar had 24 points and 5 boards and a couple assists. 9 of 25, so not very good shooting from the field, only 36%. However, his 6 for 6 from the free throw line did help the team down the stretch, kind of close out the game. And DeMar had a pretty good night on all sides of the ball. Same with everybody out there. Patrick Patterson, 5 points, 10 boards, and 4 assists for the big man. Obviously didn't shoot the ball at a great rate, only 2 of 7. However, 10 rebounds, active hands, right? Just a great, great overall. He had a steal, right? And I mean, you go up and down it, right? As much as Lucas Nogueira didn't have a point in 22 minutes. He did not. However, he had 8 boards, and how many times did he just tip out the ball for the guys to have a second chance on the offensive glass, right? I mean, he was so good. That's what's so big about Lucas, or Bebe, or whatever you want to call him. He is so long. You know, that's his huge part of him. He is a long guy, right? He is 7 foot on the dot, but his wingspan is probably ridiculous. He is just so good when it comes to loose balls, right? He gets his hands everywhere, and we saw it again tonight. He's been doing this a lot of late, and we saw it again. You know, Corey Joseph, obviously great facilitating the ball. Only had the 6 points on the game. T. Ross with only 4. But you know what? This game revolves around the second half defense. The Celtics were shooting north 50%, if not 50% on the dot. I'm not sure exactly what the exact percentage was at the half. But they ended up shooting on the game 37%. That is not good. Now, the Raptors are playing on a back-to-back, right? They played yesterday, and they had to fly out to Boston today. So they were tired. Obviously, on a back-to-back, you're playing a very good team in the second half of the back-to-back. So they don't shoot great. They only shot 42%. However, the 3 points, again, still 45%, 89% from the free throw line. Big key of why they won today. You know, just a lot of big things in this game. But the Celtics did help the Raptors out in many cases, right? A lot of transition points, or transition chances, more or less, for the Celtics were going of naught because they were just getting the ball, moving up the court, chucking a 3. And they just wouldn't go. A lot of them were Jay Crowder's, too. I saw 3, I think it was 3 at least, of his shots were, like I said, transition. It was like a 4-on-2 of some kind, and he's off balance, leaning towards the bucket, taking the three, and he missed all three. I mean, those I don't understand. For one, you have the better three-point shooters. Jay Crowder's a good player, don't get me wrong. But you have the better options, plus he wasn't in a good situation to shoot the three because he wasn't balanced and ready to shoot. So those were kind of question marks for me. Those were late in the game too. You know, he made a couple of those shots in the fourth quarter. I think it was one in the third as well. He just didn't make a lot of sense to me. But the Raptors, nonetheless, mainly the third quarter defense won this game for the Raptors. They had lots of steals in that third quarter and a lot of great rebounds, great offensive rebounds for putbacks, and they just looked very, very good on both sides of the ball. That's why they won it, and I think you guys can all agree with me. Now I know, Isaiah Thomas wasn't playing. That's why you won. He's a great player, Isaiah, and a lot of their offense does run through him, yes. But if you're missing one guy, you can't say, we're going to lose because he's not here. Last year we didn't have DeMar for a long time, right? I think it was the year before we didn't have Lowry for a long time. We found ways to win. That's what you got to do, you know? I mean, Boston's still a great team. However, I don't know if Isaiah's played in the last couple games. You know, they just got to find a way to play without him. I know it's not easy. But nonetheless, the Raptors do get the win in a very tough environment. Boston, obviously, a very tough place to play. They get the win on the road, 16-7 on the year. The Raptors are playing fantastic basketball, 8-2 in their last 10. They've won 2 in a row, so they lose 1. That's a great thing, right? You win 6, you lose 1 to the Cavs, and then you win 2 more. You come back, you don't start a losing streak after you win 6. You win 6, you lose 1, you start another streak. That's what good teams do, and that's what the Raptors are doing right here. And you know what? I gotta say, I love Jared Sullinger, just from what I was seeing tonight on the bench. If you could find a way to look back at not even the moments of the game, just trying to find Jared Sullinger on the bench. He was electric, you know, getting on the refs, just getting up when there was big plays, clapping, you know. He's in the walking boot, but he's still there cheering on the team, and that makes me excited for having him in the lineup eventually. They said 4 to 5 weeks until his return, so he is progressing. However, the Raptors are playing pretty darn good basketball without him, so let's just take it and move on, right? It's a good win, you know, and that's what the Raptors got to keep doing, right? Grinding at the wins without your main power forward let me put it this way, your main off-season acquisition or signing, all right? Let's put it that way, you know, and the Raptors have the weekend off. You can kick back for a few days, well, more or less a day because they probably got to practice eventually. Kick it back for a little bit, and they play Monday night back at the Air Canada Center. I think it's like back and forth. It's going to be a crazy next little while for the Raps. But they play at home, 7:30 tip-off against the Milwaukee Bucks. Milwaukee's playing pretty good ball of late. They're playing a tight one against the Hawks right now. So, you know what? Hopefully they can't come in tired. They don't play the next day. They do play Saturday, however, so they're not going to be too tired. But, hey, let's go for our third straight win. Antetokounmpo, you're a pain in the butt to guard. Let's see what we can do with them, all right? So that's going to do it for this video, guys. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, enjoyed the game, hey, hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. Had a few subscribers over the last couple days. Loving seeing that. I love it. If you haven't already, hit that button. I do appreciate it. Comment down below, guys, what you guys thought of the game today. You know, third quarter defense, Kyle and DeMar. Let me have all of it. I love reading your comments. And we'll talk to you guys. Well, you know what? The Leafs play tomorrow. However, the video will not come out until Sunday. I'm going to be very, very busy tomorrow night, so I will not be able to get the video out. So it will come out Sunday, just a heads up. And we'll talk to you guys Sunday night, Leafs and Bruins, Sunday afternoon probably, Leafs and Bruins, and Monday night, Raptors edition, Raps, Bucks. We'll see you guys then.